What's up, guys? Average Joe, the Average Geek here, and I got my Orville review for you today. Episode 6, Krill. Figured I'd mix things up a little bit and do it outside, so, forgive the shaky cam. I was out and about today with the family, got a new tattoo, all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, the Orville number 6. This show is continuing to hit on all cylinders. It's a fantastic show. The crew is continuing to just get closer and closer to the family, and as the episodes progress, you can tell their chemistry as actors and as characters is getting more and more tighter by the episode. It's very good. The humor is becoming more natural. The whole sequence about Bortus being able to eat anything and them like, oh, can you eat this glass? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you eat all this? Like, oh, this is going to be the fun little gag that we're going to do from now on. I can't wait. That was really funny. That hit on all cylinders today. And then the joke with Isaac offering to have sexual relations with Alara, purely in the interest of science and interspecies communication and understanding. That was hilarious. Then later on in the episode, when Malloy comes back and he's in the holographic projection of the Krill, and he goes up to Bortus, he's like, "Are you Commander Bortus? I want you to eat my weapon." Man, it's funny things. So we know the Orville is funny, but like I've talked about before, it's not this standard goofy looking science fiction anymore, where it's all humor. This is telling legitimate science fiction stories, and this episode was absolutely no exception. It had some really hard hitting stuff. It spoke about the nature of religious fundamentalism, the nature of how far is too far in war. How many, or what should I say, are there acceptable losses in war? If the Orville were to kill kids, were they no better than the Krill? Very, very, very poignant, very, very kind of, legitimate science fiction topics. Things that sci-fi has always covered. Oh yeah, nice shaky cam. Just bear with me, guys. I love this episode. I loved everything about this episode. The Krill are a very interesting species, although I do have to say that they look like albino Jem'Hadar from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And that's not knocking them. It's just the design might be a little derivative, but, that's a minor quibble. We all know that Seth MacFarlane is a very, very hardcore atheist. I'm an atheist myself, and so it's nice to see this show kind of not shy away from tackling religion, as science fiction should, especially when they made the comments about the more technologically advanced a society comes, usually the further they drift away from religious fundamentalism, and how the Krill appear to be opposite of that. The quest to find the Ankara, the Krill Bible, the Krill Holy Works, the Krill Quran, the Krill whatever you want to say, the holy works of this society. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got that. I can understand why the Union would want that information and what the Union could use that information for. Because yes, if that allows them to understand the species and approach things from an angle of peace and understanding, then it's absolutely a valid mission. Now, do I think Ed Mercer was necessarily the right choice for the job? No, not at the beginning of the episode. But the way he handled himself in this episode was phenomenal. Very captainish, very, very. I can imagine that his place in the Union is a lot higher in status now than it was at the very beginning of the series. Because at the very beginning of the series, he was kind of pushed to the periphery of the Union. That's why they gave him an exploratory vessel, so he can be away from the movers and shakers and the heavy politics of the Union. But with this episode, his command ability was top-notch in this episode. Goofy humor aside, The way he commanded the conflict with the battleship at the very beginning of the episode was very good. The way he switched gears mid-mission from getting the Ankara to stopping the bomb. And then his plan to stop the Krill warriors without killing the Krill children. Great stuff. Wonderful. Wonderful in its execution. And yet it didn't feel so weighty and so heavy that it detracted from what the Orville is, which is a comedy. Loved it. I loved every moment of it. The episode's really, really good. We're starting to get more of that kind of, forlorn love between Kelly and Mercer. They want each other. They want each other bad, but will they ever get back together? I think it's only a matter of time, for at least before they try it. Let's see. A couple of other really cool things. Seeing the ECV, what was it, 137 or something like that, the Olympia, the larger battle cruiser from the Union fleet. That was really cool. Very cool design. I mean, it really looked just like a larger version of the Orville. So I wonder how varied ship design is for the Union, or if they kind of keep this very similar platform. And if they keep this very similar platform, is that a product of how the quantum drives work? Very similar to how Federation vessels in Star Trek all look very, very similar, with the saucer section, the secondary hull, and the nacelle setup, due to the very nature of using a Zephram Cochrane style warp drive. So I'm curious there. I'm looking forward to getting deeper and deeper into the technology of the Orville. Seeing a little bit more of the command structure was really cool. It was really nice kind of spending time on a Krill ship, because we've only seen them as the villains before. Now, are they still the villains? Oh, absolutely. Do they have any redeeming qualities? Not yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It was a great episode. Let's see. Was there anything that I really didn't like about this episode, so I don't sound like I'm just fanboying? Maybe the Avis car jokes felt a little forced, because it's 400 years in the future from when those commercials and stuff hit. So it might have been a little forced, but that is such a minor quibble. I almost feel bad for even bringing it up. But yeah. The first couple of times it was funny, but after the third or fourth joke in that iteration, it kind of started falling flat. But again, that's such a minor quibble that it's almost not even worth talking about and worth bringing up. Let's see. I think the Orville is doing a lot of things right. It's continuing to surprise everyone. We did see an uptick in ratings this week compared to the previous week, which is good. I really hope it survives its first season and that it doesn't get Fireflied, because we know what happened with Firefly. It was 12, 13, 14 episodes of some of the most amazing science fiction. It's funny and heartfelt and great, and had this huge expansive universe to tell all these stories in. And it was kind of cut off at the knees by Fox. I'm really hoping the Orville survives to its second season. It definitely deserves a second season. I think the first season's only going to be about 13 episodes, and we just hit that halfway point. I'm loving it. I know many of y'all are loving it too. Go ahead and like this video if you like what I say or you have to say about the Orville, and I know y'all have been really responding well to my reviews, and I greatly appreciate that. Comment below. Let me know what you loved about this episode. Were there things about this episode you didn't like? Is the Orville really nailing it for you? Do you wish to see a second season or not? Please tell me. I always avoid the echo chamber. Yeah, cool. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too. I really appreciate it. We've had a lot of response on this channel. We just hit 150 subscribers, which is awesome to me. Like I said before, I wasn't expecting 5. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you all again very soon. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek. Y'all take it easy.